It's a great day to be a Kyle. Welcome, Kyle Nation, to another episode of Back to Pack Podcast, where we are going to be bringing you all of your favorite games, memories, and of course, discussion with our fellow Kyles. As a disclaimer, we have affiliated with the University of South Dakota. This is a podcast ran by fans for fans. The ideas and comments do not represent the university. Our opinions are our own. Be sure to find us on Twitter at BackToPackSD. With that being said, let's jump in. Gentlemen.
There's Mitch. There's
Let's
Mitch.
go.
Shoot, I missed it. I was sliding my screen back over.
Back up, Mitch. Got to see it again. Show up for Jake.
Go.
One more pop up here. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hate State.
Perfect.
Hey, Victory Mondays are awfully nice regardless, but there's just a little something extra juicy about this extra, Victory Monday here.
What are you boys drinking tonight? Because I'm drinking bunny tears.
Oh, I filled up my garage full of my tent, my chairs, all that stuff. Had the heater blowing on it just so it could dry off all those tears that were dripping on it all day.
Had to hang that thing up and dry out for a few days. It's probably still wet.
No, luckily I dried it off. The heater, perks of being an ice fisherman, loaded up with all the stuff necessary for it.
That's right. Cow Nation was pretty well prepared for the old tailgate. We saw a lot of tents up. It didn't deter too many from tailgate.
No, absolutely not. I think, honestly, I don't know what it takes for tailgate or the game to make its way over to Mitch's tailgate, but they definitely missed out on picking the right person.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that tonight, boys. Because my group went all out.
You did. Your group was killing it.
All right, we got welcome in the audience here too. We got a bunch of people in here already. Yote fan, of course, the OG in here, plenty early today. How about Matt? Hey, Matt's here on time. Let's go, Moofish. What else we got? We got Ray. Let's go, Ray. That game, yeah, I agree. That game means something to the teams and the fans. Definitely should be a trophy game. We're going to talk about that too. I'm not letting that die.
We had a big show tonight.
A huge show.
We might hit another hour.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate the nice comments there from Jake's wife.
Don't give him that many.
Hey, Allie. Hey, she's part of my group. Here we go. She's bringing the emoji game.
Yes.
By the way, shout out to Allie. She made mac and cheese between her lap and a crock pot on the way down. So Saturday morning, which was delicious, by the way.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Yeah, we stopped by your tailgate. Everything smelled good. I know Kogel got into some of those bunnies, legitimate bunnies. That was pretty awesome. You still got that picture on there?
I do. That's in the slideshow tonight.
Absolutely. Yes. Perfect.
Let's
go. What? Yeah, I was going to say, we're loaded up
rip
here.
Right into it. Let's do it.
Let's do her.
All right. Alex's lemonade stand. Jake, I'll let you take this one.
Well, we're sitting here. We're still waiting. We're waiting for stuff to show up. So, yes, we may be sitting on just over 200 currently, but in reality, it is about 2,200 because we are waiting still for $2,000 to come in from Northwestern on a match opportunity. And believe it or not, but we have another fantastic opportunity to raise money. The airplane is still available. The bidding is going back and forth. Right now, I did send it out to the ones that are because we did go over the 4 mark. So at the moment, the tickets are up to $600 a seat. That changed, and I feel bad. Sorry, Mitch, for not passing that information.
That's all right. Last minute change. We're raising money.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, $600 per seat is really the going asking price right now. Still an opportunity. We're going to go till Wednesday at 9:00 to really make sure we get all of your information over to the flight crew on that to make sure we get that set up properly. But yeah, 9:00 on Wednesday, $600 a seat for the Coyotes and basically another playoff game. And our weatherman Mitch already hooked us up. What's it going to be down there, Mitch?
It's actually going to be a pretty nice day. If you're looking for warmer temperatures, what are we thinking? I think it's around the 70 mark, maybe 70, 75, sunny in Carbondale on Saturday. So yeah, go a little southeast and warm up.
Absolutely. So fantastic opportunity. And I know the team would love your support. So make sure you get in on that and have some fun. Make some memories too.
So yeah, I gotta say too, we were excited about this when this came out, but if we're all being honest about this, right? We were like, man, we really want to win on Saturday to make this sweet, right? Like this is now for sure a game with substantial playoff implications, at to say the very least. It's going to be 75 and sunny. Looking around the rest of the FCS landscape for Saturday, this is probably the game. I would say for sure a top 2 game in the whole country, right? I know State and State are facing off. I think Lamar is taking on. I'm trying to think of who's ever in first place in their conference. I believe it's 1 versus 2, but this is a premier game. So this deal just got about 100 times sweeter over the weekend here with the results. So this thing's open till Wednesday. So if people are interested and excited, like make sure you get a hold of Jake. This is a sweet, I would say once in a Coyote lifetime type opportunity to take the private jet down to an away game.
Or, as Carter Orr has to say, a 10.5-hour drive. Just an easy 10.5-hour drive, which, to be fair, it is actually a pretty easy drive.
Well, unless you ride with Grant, then it's probably like a 15-hour drive.
Yeah. Hey, don't drink all that coffee.
That was my bad. I'll lay off the coffee if we're hitting the road.
I can't let you live that down, at least for this year.
That's true. I warned Mitch too. This is our trip to UNI that Mitch is talking about. I made a stop like 2 or 3 times on the way there since I drank about 50 ounces of coffee.
I have a nephew's birthday on Sunday, and that's the only reason. If one of these plane tickets becomes available, just saying, looking at it because it gets me home still Saturday night to make it to my nephew's birthday on Sunday.
There you go.
A 10.5-hour drive definitely makes that tougher to make sure I make it back for the nephew's birthday. So I guess we'll just spend the money.
There you go. All right. So you've reached out to the folks that are interested. And again, if you're thinking about it, you got to get in here real soon because it does end. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Let's go to the show outline, guys. As normal, what stood out? Where do the Yotes need to improve? Players of the game. So first thing that stood out, guys, we have to address this. Coyote Nation and Coyote Crazies. How about the dome atmosphere on Saturday and the amount of red versus blue? Because that was a big conversation leading up to the game.
Absolutely. I think there's definitely an argument going on in a few of my groups trying to figure out exactly how much it was. But, yeah. Hold on. Sorry, my headset just went out. So you guys want to take over?
Yeah. No, I would say I'm glad this is the first slide because I think the dome was about as electric as it has been probably since SDSU last year. I think that's about as comparable as it's been, but this one even had I think this one had more juice early on, despite the bad start to the game, right? The outside of that play, the dome was juiced up, and I agree. I was a little worried when we saw ticket sales move really quick. I had a feeling it was going to be South Dakota State fans buying those up. And I thought, oh boy, here we go. We're going to see a 60-40 split. Not the case, at least not from my perspective. I usually try to take a moment to kind of look around and observe that a little bit. It just wasn't the case. My estimation, I want to say 80-20. Maybe you guys think differently. I don't know. That's
Jake, you're on the other side. You're on the east side, or I mean the west side. We're on the east side. What was your perspective on that?
I will say this. They definitely filled in the visitor section as expected. I think they sold out that. The weather definitely held them back, but yeah, if it slips, I don't think they got to 25% of that dome.
That's what I was going to say, and again, I'm on the other side, so I'm looking at your side, but I was thinking like maybe 75-25 is about what I was thinking.
Yeah. So it was unbelievable. At the end of the day, we talked about it, that State's O-line and D-line are two of the best in the nation, definitely in the Missouri Valley. And when you can get this disciplined of an O-line to jump off or false start 5 times,
yes,
know the dome is rocking. And I can't remember who said it, but being able to put a false start counter up on the screen.
That was Mark Wendt.
Yeah, thank you. That would be a fantastic idea because it is just a reward for the fans that are there putting in the effort, yelling their heads off. I think that'd be an awesome way to tally it up.
Yeah, I agree. His idea was to have some sort of counter, like a game counter, season counter, all-time counter, something like that, where it's, everybody can see it and everybody's trying to, add one more to the counter.
Yeah, and that's the part we always talk about, right? We always talk about, as a fan, you can impact the game, and there's very little sports where you can do that. Football's one of them. It takes a group effort, but it showed out, right? I mean, 5 false starts in critical moments too, right? Multiple times it was in third downs when it takes a 3rd and 3 to a 3rd and 8, or takes a 3rd and 5 to a 3rd and 10. I mean, those are humongous differences in the game, and so I was so pumped to see that. And of course, each one you get, the crowd gets more into it. So I know. Hey, we even saw it online, right? Like, folks were frustrated. South Dakota State fans were frustrated. They're like, did we not practice with sound? Why is the band playing so long? They were frustrated with the sound situation.
There were several complaints about how loud it was.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Right. Which is exactly what we've always talked about. We know what the Dome is capable of, right? We know what it can be, and that showed out on Saturday. So kudos to the fans, no doubt about it.
Now, I'm gonna say it after celebrating, but this could be every game.
Sure could.
It is an absolute blast, and to know like you actually had something to do with the outcome of the game. There's not a lot of stadiums that can do that. And so to be able to say, yeah, I was part of the reason why that false start happened, just makes you amped up for that next one even more then. And so we could have it this way. And I'm going to say, I've said it so many times before, but they make fun of USD and the fans that show up because they're afraid of what we can turn into as a true
Suck on that. That's what I had to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, they are really afraid of what we can become. We're a sleeping giant, and it's a huge opportunity for us. So, obviously, unless we get some magic in the playoff seeding, we might be turning the lights off on the Dome for the season. But you never know what it looks like. So, if playoffs roll around and we get a home one, show up, show out.
Yep, and Coach called for it too to make it raucous and miserable for them, and I think Coyote Nation answered the bell.
Sorry, I'm reading through the 2 comments.
Go ahead, put them up there if you find something funny to put up. But
all right, yes. So, Yote fan, Jake was on the beginning of the TV coverage, which actually timed out really well with the slides here.
Read my mind, Yote fan.
He appeared sober, followed by
not true.
Matt Kogo saying that it's false. Yeah, I will say it definitely took some liquid courage. I was very excited when I saw them walking through tailgate. I ran up to him almost without thinking, so that can tell you where I was at on the sober level. But the first thing I said to him is, are you with ESPN? Actually. And she looked at her mic and went, yeah. So, but no, I said, all right, have you guys heard about this Alex's Lemonade stand that's happening in the FCS? She said no. The camera guy actually said a little bit, actually. I was like, well, this is what we're doing. We've been helping out Aiden with this. And they go, all right, take us to your tailgate. It's like, wait, oh shit, this is really happening?
That's awesome.
So, they did ask me, what does this rivalry mean to the state? And then another question they actually asked me was, you said you've been helping Alex's Lemonade stand, the quarterback here at USD. Can you tell us what that means? And that one question I was more prepared for. And I said something along the lines of, towards the end, I said, and what do you know? Blue is number 2 and we're number 1. Something along those lines. But then my favorite, though, is before they did our interview, they actually did a scene from our tailgate. And you have Grant in the background juggling lemons behind Kate's head.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if that made it to TV or not, but I thought I'd give it a whirl.
And the one thing that stinks, I tried to take a screenshot.
Drunk Grant trying to juggle.
He was nailing it.
Successfully juggling. Thank you.
I didn't have a lemon hit me in the back of the head, so if that tells you anything. But I will say I did actually end up buying ESPN Unlimited for the month just so I could go back and actually rewatch this game too, so I could be prepared for it. Yeah, $30. So Coyote Nation, I love you. Just remember that. But then, I look and I pause it and I tried to take a screenshot of us because Grant's just looking straight up at a lemon floating in the air. And ESPN has a filter on it, so you can't take screenshots of live video. So sucks, but it was really cool.
You have to do the old phone on TV or phone on phone recording to try to capture some of that.
Yep. I actually did cast it to my TV and FaceTime my parents to show them because they didn't get a chance to see it.
Nice. That's cool.
So it was really cool. Something pretty much any sports fan dreams of is be able to be on ESPN. So I can cross that off the sports bucket list.
All right. So I also have to give a shout out to Lonnie Heyer because the regulars that listen to the show know I'm superstitious. And Lonnie's coming from the top rope here. He says the Yotes have never lost a game when I sit in section J. Worst seats in the house. And if you look at the seating chart, guys, I mean, that is literally in the corner. And he says, I made a major mistake not sitting there against Illinois State. Of course, we lost that game. Won't make that mistake again. And what do you know? The Yotes pull it off again, and the Dome winning streak is alive and well again. But God dang it, Lonnie, what are you doing?
Yeah,
sounds like we need to get Lonnie a lazy boy over there, like a fan of the game type seat. Rip out
get him a
plaque
plaque on the chair.
Yeah, that's right. Let's get him.
This is Lonnie's seat.
That's what it takes.
Sure this is Crew's dad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That's what I thought. So yeah, shout out Lonnie. Appreciate you getting back to section J.
Don't leave.
Don't let us see you in the other section.
yeah. Don't leave. All right. You guys have anything else on the fan experience? Because I have a couple of things I want to talk about.
Yeah, please go.
Go ahead.
So all right, couple laundry list items here. First off, Little Brown Jug. We talked about it obviously the week leading up to the game. Where the heck is it, and why did it not come out on Saturday? Because that would have been the perfect time to bring it back out, especially with the all red, all blue. Thought that was a nice touch. But so yeah, any comments on that? Because I'm frustrated that it didn't come out.
Yeah, if State could just bring it down for us, I mean that would go a long ways in it. So getting that sorted out, figuring out where it's at, getting out of Stig's basement would be huge.
Yep.
I don't know why the scores keep getting updated on it, but somehow we can't get it out. Why do we keep getting pictures of the scores? But
yeah, nobody knows where it's at, but it's still being updated. So
my hope was the buzz around the uniforms and the buzz around the jug meant we were going to see both. We went 1 for 2. So
exactly.
Who knows? Maybe someday.
All right, moving on. Next thing, Taylor. Yes, exactly. That's where he stores his juice.
That's exactly where he stores his juice.
I'm in there still.
Yeah, it's aging. It's fermenting.
But nobody would know that he was arrested for DUI because the university swept it under the rug. But I digress. All right. Number 2, tailgaters the game, guys. This is just generally, I don't know how to win this. Like, I don't know how to apply. I don't know the process, but I do know that my group, and this includes the Carney family and the Loma family and my family, we went all out, guys. We were there at 9 a.m. setting up ice shacks. We grilled freaking rabbits, and we were drinking from a Little Brown Jug. So I don't know what more we need to do, but I want to shout out my group because I thought our tailgate was absolutely fantastic with it potentially being the last home game of the season. So we went all out.
Yes. No, you guys crushed it. That your setup was fantastic. The Little Brown Jug tasted amazing. The rabbit was pretty darn good too itself.
Hey, also, your tents were probably about 79 degrees inside, maybe hotter for a while there. So Lord. they were crushing it. They were doing a great job.
Absolutely, steam rolling off the top of those ice shacks.
Yeah.
All right, Mitch, you got a question here.
All right, from Carter. Yeah, I think Matt answered that for me because we know Matt had a piece. Yeah, I agree with Matt. I'm going with chicken. It's it's pretty tough meat, kind of chewy. But Pat did a really good job marinating those things for about 24 hours. So we had a Mediterranean and a barbecue flavor, and I thought they were absolutely fantastic.
That's awesome.
Also tastes like victory.
Tastes like victory. There it is. Yep. I say Tyler beat me to it. Tastes like victory. Yes. That's right.
No, actually, Allie beat you both to it.
Oh, that's right.
Right behind. So yeah, and wash it down with some rabbit tears. It's really what helps moisten it up.
Yeah. All right. Number 3 here on the list is it's kind of tough to see because the picture's not big, but why the hell does SDSU have a suite on about the 30-yard line for this game? I don't understand. I heard it was Dana J and his group, and he pulled up just like he owned the place on the west side there. And so guys, I think this is a horrible look. I think it's silly if we can't find somebody else to buy that. Why we're selling it to him? It absolutely bothered me. And of course I had to see it all game long as I'm staring across the field.
Yeah. Well, and this kind of just speaks to the fan base of SDSU as a whole, just acting like they own the place for some reason. And it was really weird. I saw plenty of tweets from USD fans saying that while they were standing up on third down yelling, SDSU fans were telling them to sit down and be quiet. In our dome, in our seats, shut up. Like,
absolutely.
This isn't your house. And at the end of the day, you bought the seats. I was proud of the SDSU fans that stood up and cheered in their situations because they bought seats. They could do it. And that's what football games all about. Don't sit on your thumb to be quiet in the stadium. Go home. TV's cheaper than season tickets anyways.
Yeah, and I want to hit this real quick. Pat's a man of many talents, by the way. Sponsor the show, Carney family. He majored in the culinary arts for a semester, so he's a chef, he's a cook, whatever you want to call it, man. He's got it going on. All right. I'm going to go to number 4 here on the list, guys. And this is, Jake, to your point about sitting down and being quiet. Yeah. You guys know I'm in section H, and that's the designated visitors section. You can see by the picture, they spilled over into G. In fact, they probably had most of H and G bought. And I'm in row 1. Behind me, row 2, 80-year-old. Well, I'm estimating 80 years old, but he was a grandpa. Told me about 5 minutes in the game, asked me to sit down. And I was like, first I was kind of dumbfounded, number 1. And secondly, I was like, no, I'm going to stand and cheer. And he kind of pleaded with me a couple times. He said, can you at least sit? Well, our team has the ball down here on this end. And I was like, no.
That's the exact opposite of what I'm going to do.
Exactly. And then he's like, well, my grandson plays on the team and I'd like to see it. And I responded with, well, you could stand to watch him, and you'd be able to see over my shoulder. And he responded with, well, I'm going to get you removed. I'm going to get you ejected from this game. And I just laughed and said, okay, and turned around. And that was the end of the conversation. But the funny thing is, guys, I think he ended up moving about 5 minutes later, but the rest of his family stayed and had to tolerate my miserable self all game long. So it was quite the entertainment there at the beginning of the game for me.
I'm more laughing at Grant now than anything.
I'm just dumb. I mean, I'm just dumbfounded, right? Like, you're going to a live sporting event to ask somebody in front of you to sit down, or like, it just makes no sense to me. I guess I'm a stander, right? Like, I'm an active fan, so maybe I'm biased, but yeah, that's how live sports people, or that's how live sporting events go, right? That's just.
I really wanted to say, like, hey, this isn't bingo night. Like, we're at the Dakota Dome. This is a rivalry game. Like, what do you want me to do? Yeah. So I was polite, but I did not do what he said. I was up most of the game. I think I sat maybe in the second half a little bit when we were on offense, and that was about it.
I barely sat during halftime. It's just, I don't know. It's hard for me to sit down just in general for these games, especially for that long. But when it's a fun game back and forth, I'm in it. I'm in it till the end.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else from you guys? I had to air some stuff.
The only thought is I did think of a new segment for us. We should have Grant's Rants.
Ooh.
So you're getting
like
those without a segment already.
I like that.
I mean, to be fair, it was Mitch's rant, but it just it rolls better. No offense.
Hey, speaking of that, Grant was giving the business to the Jacks fans over there in Section D.
I was a little bit. It was probably more in the concourse. Since Mitch brought it up, I was telling these guys before the show started that with the weather being the way that it was, I put a lot of state fans in a peculiar situation where I just come up real polite and I say, gosh, aren't you guys just glad that we get to play in a dome today and sit on a day like today? And I'd stick out my hand for a handshake and they just didn't know what to say. they wanted to say yes, but they know they shouldn't. So I got a handful of folks on that. They all had a pretty good laugh about it, but I just watched them with that look on their face going, not supposed to like playing inside today.
You know, and I will say, to be fair, had it been an outside game, I mean, I still would have enjoyed the heck out of that. It was a beautiful Saturday for what was supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I actually would have. Out of the two scenarios that were supposed to happen, whether it's 40-mile-an-hour winds and 40 degrees, or no winds, 32 degrees, and 4 inches of snow, I'll take the latter every single time. That was a blast. Having to dry stuff off. Outside of that, it was awesome.
Yep, I agree. All right, let's go to football, guys. Let's talk about the game here. We'll start with the box score, as we always do with the scoring summary. So officially a sellout. We talked about that, obviously a 24-17 victory, but 9,159, guys. That's technically above capacity.
Yep. Well, coach said come stand next to him, and I did. So somebody sat in my seat.
Yeah, I think the numbers are pretty vague in the Coyote Landing corner area, so I think you can really pile them in over in the corners when you need to. So, but yeah, it was.
All right. Good. So, and looking at score predictions real quick before we talk actual ball, 20-17, Grant and I, Jake 31-20. We were all fairly close there. I'm trying to think. I thought somebody predicted like a 24-17 on our show. I didn't go back and look, but it feels like somebody was real close. I know the Carney family was close too, because they were 24-21 maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yep. Yeah. And I will say, I was getting really excited actually because when they had that ineligible man downfield penalty, it was like 3rd down. And I was like, let's just decline it, coach. Just decline it so they can kick the field goal and we'll close it out on this touchdown. And I would have nailed it right on the head. But no, we're, for the most part, it seems like everybody was pretty close. Honestly, you take away 2 plays from State and it's an ugly game.
Well, let's start there because we spotted them 7 points right off the bat. We joked about us starting fast and scoring on a first play with Aiden, and instead they flipped the script. You've got a 3rd-string quarterback, redshirt freshman, and Jack Henry pitches to a freshman wide receiver playing running back and literally runs untouched down the east side of the dome, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, apparently, if you wanted to show out for the Jacks on Saturday, you had to be a Jack. Because Jack Henry and Jack Smith. I was actually fairly impressed with Jack Henry, but yeah, that first play, it does suck. It was a bad angle taken by, I believe it was Roman on that one. Had he had a better pursuit angle, I think the game looks completely different as a whole. But outside that, you spot them 2 big plays, and really, it's going to happen. It's a rivalry game. You're going to have those moments. So,
Grant, what were your thoughts when that happened? Because for me, battered coyote syndrome kicked in a hurry.
Yeah, it happened right in front of our section. Right? I mean, literally, I could see the white of his eyes as he's running by. So that didn't make things any easier. But yeah, your mind immediately goes to, okay, here we go, right? Like we said, we need to start fast. We need to keep the crowd in it. And you couldn't ask for a worse start to a game. Like outside of a opening kick return for a touchdown, pretty much potato.
This is exactly the same thing. Yeah,
pretty much the same thing.
Exactly.
So, I also said too, I'll be interested to see if Coach agrees with me as he goes through his pressers this week. But I think that's probably our worst explosive play that we've given up all year.
It's gotta be.
Iowa State opening play.
Okay, well, this is basically the same thing then.
And just I would argue
a pass versus a run.
I was just going to say, and I would actually argue that the run's worse because we've been so much better on the run than pass, especially early in the year. We were so green with the DBs that it was almost like, okay, we're in it now. So I jokingly said that we won the game, but I think we gave up our worst explosive play on the first game of the day, and then I think we gave we gave up our worst situationally explosive play of the entire year right before halftime. So, but to your point, of all the plays in the game, those are the only 2, right? Like, I mean,
correct.
And the scoreboard shows that. I think you're right, Jake. In an alternate world, this game's maybe 24-6, 24-3. Not that you can discount explosive plays; it's an important part of it, but just a strange way to start and just not a good way to start. Definitely gave you a pit in your stomach a little bit.
Yep. I mean, this is spot
Jake,
on here.
I'm with Kate. I'm with Kate. Absolutely.
She's an absolute menace in the stands. Doesn't know. She understands that good and bad, but doesn't know how we're getting to good and bad. But she is a menace through and through on it. I will say right after this play, though, and she can attest to this, I leaned over and said, give me a slow, methodical drive for a touchdown, and we win this game.
That's what we got.
And that's, it was scripted perfectly. We did everything right. And to solidify my confidence in, like I said, a slow, methodical drive for a touchdown, 3rd and 10 on the 10, and we run the ball in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shout him out right now and say, Jacob Aropes, this was by far his best game ever. And he's been playing pretty darn good for a redshirt freshman. But he is actually the reason LJ scored both of his rushing touchdowns. He opened up massive, massive holes. And he took on the guy I shouted out as Missouri Valley's Defensive Player of the Year as a preseason award, Kobe Claiborne, multiple times. And he won that battle every single time.
Yeah, and since we're talking about him, what is this? His 4th start? 3rd start? 1st start? Something like that?
UNI, Illinois, this 4th start, yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, and to go and to piggyback off that a little bit, that was maybe, talking about takeaways from the game, that was the thing that shocked me the most.
We were better.
Into this, well, yeah, that part of it, but just how we dominated the line of scrimmage just kind of blew my mind. I thought for sure we were going to see a real grinder, right? We talked about it. Like, this is going to be a tough game. It's going to be tough in the trenches. And, the headlines were around a 3rd string quarterback, but to your point, Jake, he did nothing wrong.
No.
They weren't really letting him take too many shots, which I don't think that's their game regardless of who's in there, but they didn't have him take a ton of shots, but we just dominated that D line and kind of got to do what we wanted. And that shocked me. I really thought that they were going to make us earn it, knowing that we wanted to run the ball, but we saw the numbers. LJ got to 167 and 2 touchdowns. That's a hell of a day against this defense.
Speaking of that, Grant, he really only made one mistake, and that was ultimately the difference in the game is the interception that he threw.
Yeah.
That was really it. And guys, can I pat myself on the back a little bit here with the shout out to No Chase Mason calling this back in August.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You did.
I didn't mean to, wish him an injury or anything, but we talked about it in the predictions show. If you want to go back to that 821 episode, we know he's a huge liability with just the way he plays the game. And so this one being late in the season, it just made sense. And then the other thing, guys, I want to mention this real quick. Jack Henry, 3rd string quarterback. He actually was the quarterback for Del Rapids, which my uncle is a coach on and has won several. I don't even know how many high school championships they've won at this point, but he was there when Jack was there and went 24-0 as a starter, won 2 state championships. And I joked with him back in August. This is why I said on the show, I joked with him back in August at my grandma's 97th birthday party up in Sioux Falls that there was a chance that we would see him. And his response to me was, oh my gosh, he's a freshman. There's no way, he won't be ready. And it's just amazing that came full circle a couple months later and ended up seeing him play us in the Dome where he's very familiar. I thought that was really cool. And I was a little nervous at the beginning of the game, but yeah, the mistake towards the end, that was the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was, I was very impressed. He was calm, cool, and collected for the most part for a rivalry.
Yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of him.
And I'll be honest too. I rewatched that interception play. We definitely baited him into that. We knew there was a streak coming on the outside, and Lewis diagonaled straight to the corner of the end zone, right where the ball was supposed to go. And we gambled correctly, and it was a perfect call on defense, and that's what got him.
Yo, Allie, what are the lottery ticket numbers for this weekend, Mitch? Crystal ball. I'll split it with you, Allie. I'm not going to mention it on the show, but I'll split it with you. All right. What else here? What else stood out, guys?
It was O-line, D-line is what really stood out. We, for the most part, I'll say it, we own the line of scrimmage through and through. And at the end of the day, when you're going to win a Missouri Valley game, when you're going to win a game against insert Dakota, it starts right then and there. And the fact that we can trot out whether it is a first-time transfer in or 2 redshirt freshman tackles, and just stand up and own it. It was an unbelievable effort by them. All the kudos to the O-line and D-line.
Absolutely. And they're coming here on a future slide, Jake. We'll get there. I want to go to this comment real quick because this is an important one too from James and Lauren. I wish Chase would have played though, because all the SDSU fans use that as an excuse why they lost. And not only him, but they went down a laundry list of players that are injured, guys. And we've been talking about this from our perspective all year, from literally week 1. So using that as an excuse, man, get out of here with that.
Yeah, that's we talked about this week too. That's really kind of just a lazy excuse, because I have jokingly said to the few folks that have said the same thing. Well, Chase Mason didn't play. And I said, geez, I didn't realize that Chase Mason played left tackle, guard, center, defensive end, D tackle, and linebacker, right? I mean, that's really where the game was won. Really had nothing to do with Chase Mason. Like, yes, does he bring an element to the game that Jack wasn't able to? Sure. But that's not where this game was won and lost. So that answer is a little bit lazy. And I would actually even say the excuse around injury on the defensive side are more legitimate than the Chase Mason injury. But again, we're talking about week 10, week 11, depending on how many games you've played at this point. Everybody has injuries. That's part of the game.
Absolutely.
Especially in the Valley. It seems like it's worse.
Yeah, I mean, they lost their second, Missouri Valley's second team quarterback. We lost our All-American running back. Like,
take your
pick. We had 2 team captains out of 2 out of 4 team captains down by week 2, guys. With one of them being a Walter Payton watch list and Charles Pierre Jr.
And give Charles Pierre Jr. those holes that we opened up against State.
Yeah, and by the way, we lost Keandre Jones-Logan in literally the offseason in spring ball. So get out of here with that.
Yep, exactly. So it is what it is. Good, great teams. Reload, refill. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you lose a lot in the transfer portal? So did we, in a worse time. Oh, you lost your coach? So did we. Like, everything that they brought up, we match. And you can measure all you want on it, but at the end of the day, we proved it on the field that we're the better team.
Yeah, I really don't care. I mean, we got the W. They're reeling. Like, I really don't care at this point.
Yeah. Now, and I'll say this too. For the most part, throughout that game, obviously there was the ups and downs, but I felt pretty comfortable and it felt like we were in control for most of the game. And I actually didn't really have a good reason for that feeling until after the game, when I get a text from Mitch that says SDSU did not run a single play in the red zone all game.
Yeah, that's a good comment, Jake, because I think that was a strange feeling, and like very rarely in a Missouri Valley game do you feel comfortable, especially in a tight one. But to your point, I don't think there was any moment during the game outside of the very first play where I felt panicked, like feeling like, oh man, we're getting dominated or we're getting exposed here or there. Just never had that feeling all day. And you're exactly right. They just won the field position game all day long.
Well, I think, Grant, that was more noticeable because of the line of scrimmage, because we were owning the line of scrimmage. And so we were able to get 5-6 yards a carry with LJ. I think we pretty much were able to do whatever we wanted. And Aiden had a ton of time too, going back to that O-line. Like, he was not hurried. I think he maybe sacked once or twice, maybe.
And
but overall, like, too. Right. And overall, like, clean pockets, plenty of time, step up, make that throw. And that's multiple weeks in a row now. We're seeing that.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of taking a look here at this slide that you have. I mean, we can keep saying it over and over again. I feel like we're going in circles at this point. But one thing I do want to point out as well is the penalty discrepancy. And it was funny how quickly State fans were also willing to point at the penalties and say that there was a bunch of crap calls. USC was being favored. I actually don't think they called enough penalties on State. I watched a lot that went uncalled, like kick catch interference. At this point,
that first one after they scored and they kicked off to us, Whitty gets absolutely smoked.
Oh no, not that one. Jack Martin's on a punt.
Okay. Yeah.
He stepped up at about the 15, and the ball bounced at like the 2-yard line. But the exact same thing happened in the UND game where Jaden Brown got called for a kick catch interference or a personal foul. Yep. They smoked the crap out of Jack on a free hit, and the ball's not even close.
There's at least one DPI too that I saw. But if you think about from their penalty perspective, half of those 5 out of the 10 were false starts. Mm-hmm. So take those out because that's a different part of the game, right? And so that's before the ball's even snapped. So take that out. They had 5 for whatever yardage it is. I mean, that's I don't think they have a reason to say that the refs were skewed in this game.
No, it felt for the most part fairly even. The refs could have been better on both sides here and there, but I think everything was legitimate calls. I do sort of in a sense feel like there was a makeup call for USD, which was nice, but also I don't know. It was just weird. And yeah, Johansson's personal foul. We can bring.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So that's 2 weeks in a row we've had one on a coach. This time it's the head coach, Travis Johansson.
Which I don't blame him for being as fired up as he was because actually it was Jaden Brown was called for roughing the punter, which is a personal foul, 15 yards.
Yep.
But in reality, first of all, he didn't hit him at all. He just the punter landed on him, which would be basically running into the punter. Yeah, 5-yard penalty. But in reality, he got pushed into the punter's cylinder.
That's what I thought. He got blocked into the punter.
Yep. So he got blocked into the punter, which then is not a penalty on that team. And so that really is what Johansson was fired up about. So I don't blame him for where his passion was on that one. It was the wrong call, but I wish he would have saw the flag down on the other end.
Yeah, because you had offsetting 15-yarders there, and then he gets his 15-yarder. So it essentially, of course, it's 4th down. So essentially equates to a turnover where you're giving them the ball back, giving them an automatic first down. That's where it hurts.
Yep, exactly. It is what it is. We still won the game. But the refs, I mean, there's a reason that a coach got pushed to that point. It tells you that the calls weren't good leading up to it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think he was justified. I just want to know what he said or what he did that got that 15-yarder because you got to do a little something extra to get that.
Oh, I would have got at least 30 yards called on me. So
I think what he said was,
he was controlled. Beep. And then you beep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Here you go, Matt. Whatever happened to sideline warnings? Yeah, we don't seem to be getting any of those. It seems to be right to the flag.
Yep, exactly. So it is. We can talk about the penalties back and forth on it. I think for the most part they were bad or they were poor at calling, but correct in the ones they called.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna read some shout outs here, guys, and add to this as you see fit. 333 total yards of offense, guys, for us. Bauman and company, perfect 3 for 3 in the red zone. Had 4 plays of 20+ yards. LJ did his thing, guys. 27 carries, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Absolutely huge. I think he averaged, I don't know, quick math, around 6 yards a carry there.
Yeah, something like that.
Fenner, of course, showed out. Hey, Fenner had more than 6.2. All right, Fenner had more than 2 catches this game, guys. He had 4, 68 yards, and 2 really big ones, by the way.
Oh, absolutely insane.
And then offense held the ball for 32 minutes, 36 seconds. How about defense? Never let SDSU enter the red zone. We talked about that. We forced a fumble 4 straight games. Also had of course, the interception. So turnovers are starting to come. What else we got here? Yotes defense held SDSU to 5 for 13 on 3rd downs. I thought that was absolutely huge. I think a lot of those were kind of 3rd and longs, if I remember right.
Because they kept jumping.
Yeah, that was definitely part of it. I think we did a good job on 1st and 2nd down stopping the run too. You look at what their running backs did; it wasn't much. Mm-hmm. And then Gabe Hardman and Roman Tillman, of course, leading the defense. Some other stuff here. LJ picks up his 7th 100-yard rushing game, 5th multi-touchdown game. He is also up to 1,464 yards. Crazy. Fenner leads the Missouri Valley Football Conference in touchdowns with 8. Will made his 35th career field goal. Can't forget Will, that field goal in there, moving him into sole possession of 6th all-time in program history. And then how about Will as well? 129 straight PATs in his career.
That's fantastic. And I mean, if we're going to go through and pull up old episodes, mine's not as old as what Mitch referenced for his August 21st. He'll even tell you what time he even said that Chase won't play against us. And if you guys want to guess. But no, I did say in the last episode going into this one that if LJ's number is right around that 3 digits for yards, I'd be pretty happy with, pretty well assume that it'd be a victory. And here we are at 168. So fantastic job by him on that. That was, I mean, again, it's the O-line, but he took advantage of every opportunity that was given to him because I don't know what it is. Fletcher and Watkins, they're struggling to find those holes that he finds, but it's pretty crazy how well he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just one last comment on that, Jake, is that we've talked about it this year, but I believe there's 2 stats that have kind of stood out. It's when we rush for over 100 yards or have a 100-yard plus rusher. That always, I can't remember what the record was, but big winning percentage. But then in combination with that, on the other side is when we allow 2 or less explosive plays. I don't remember what the exact stat is. That's another one where it's like through the roof. So there you go. If that's do the measuring stick, right? If LJ goes for 100 plus and we allow less than 2 explosive plays, have a feeling that winning percentage goes to high 90s for us. And we did both of those on Saturday.
Of course, State did take advantage of their 2 explosive plays and turn them into touchdowns, but
that they did.
That's all they got.
I think, though, guys, what's really solidified these last couple of weeks is we have a true identity. Like everything is set in stone at this point as far as what we're going to do on both offense and defense. And you know who the playmakers are. Like there's no surprises at this point. So I think that actually, kind of benefits us, right? We've settled into who we are. We finally figured out who we are and how to do it.
Yep, exactly.
All right, seniors, guys, of course, they posed for a photo. So we mentioned it was senior day. What a way to go out, taking on a rival that a lot of these guys probably haven't beat. I don't know if any of them have beat the Jacks. So just a heck of a way to end it in the Dome if it does end up being the last game at home.
Yeah, it won't be. It's not. I'm already selling it now. It's not the last Dome game, but
I'm with you.
We'll talk about that Thursday.
My question though is whose bright idea was it to put Will Leyland between a 6'6" tight end and a 6'4" D line?
That is nasty work. I thought that exact same thing.
He's up to their pads.
I say they're taking his head off there.
Yeah.
No, honestly, these guys. I mean, we talked about these. They were part of this turnaround, and this is the last class that I can really say this is where the turnaround came from. This was kind of that last piece of it. The stories that they all have is just fantastic. The first 2 on the left, I mean, just starting with those 2 alone on the stories, Matt really just seeing special teams as a preferred as a walk-on until this season, going full scholarship and being a starter and absolutely owning it. Javion Phelps has set some amazing memories for Coyotes, of course. We'll take one from John Thayer, 8-ball corner pocket against NDSU. And I mean, you can work your way all the way through this list. Will Leyland's perfect season, Mo coming back for a 7th year, really hold it down. Carter, I probably shouldn't go through because I'll start tearing up on this one. I mean, shout out to these guys. They truly have helped turn USD into something special. And I mean, we owe a lot of what's happened, all the success to these guys.
Here, I'll save you. I'll go all the way to the right side. Dallas Holmes, want you back next year.
There you go.
I mean, and I'm pretty excited.
There's a chance. I'm just saying there's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to say that I don't see Caden Crawford or Jeff Bowie out there, just as a little point out.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yep. And then, Kate was very excited to meet her favorite player on the team. After the game, she lost her mind when she came upstairs, or he came upstairs. I did laugh because I absolutely love what Will's done as a kicker. And he goes, "What's your name again?" And I was like, "It's Jake." And he goes, "Oh, Jake Conover." I don't know. I think I might be a bigger fan of you than you are of me. And I'm like, "No, you're absolutely wrong." But I appreciate it. But he was wearing a fantastic hat. The Dead Rabbit or something like that. Yep, he was wearing that hat, so that was funny. It was an absolute blast to see these guys.
That's a hunting lodge out in the middle of the state, the Dead Rabbit, right?
Okay,
something like that. I did actually see after rewatching the game, Coach Rosenthal was wearing it as well on the sideline. So there's a few sneaking around. Shout out to Steve Nelson stopping in the tailgate. Yep. He had an orange one as well. So
I did. I actually, now that you say that, I did see that because he's over by me.
Yep, exactly.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
All right, guys, players of the game, sponsored by the Carney family. Here as we wrap the show up. This one is a shout out to the entire O-line, tight end group, and wide receivers for the really, really nice job they did blocking for LJ. These photos, guys.
It's a lot of green.
You have LJ running through the line of scrimmage untouched, and guys 5 to 8 to 10 yards downfield blocking for him, and there's not a blue jersey in sight.
No, it was fantastic. This is spot on and the exact right one. Aiden with a clean pocket in the bottom left. Up in the bottom right here is LJ's second touchdown of the game to put it away. Jacob came across with a perfect seal block and where he knocked the linebacker into the D tackle to completely open up that hole. I mean, it was just all in all winning on the field. Fantastic job by these guys. They set the tone all the way through the game.
Pat's calling for walleye baskets for everybody.
I feel like there's only one person that can actually do that.
That would be very appropriate though for this one.
Yep, exactly. But no, and there he is. Speaking
of Jacob, friend of the show, right? Player of the week, offensive lineman, player of the week in the Valley, number 75, Absolutely. Jacob Rope.
Very cool. You win that award going against one of the best defensive linemen in the Missouri Valley. That says a lot. Game 4, start number 4. Sky's the limit for this kid. I'm really proud of what he's already accomplished, and I'm really excited to see what he can do afterwards.
Yep, moving right along here. LJ, of course, LJ 8, because the offensive line paved the way. LJ had a great game, like we mentioned, 168 yards, 2 tutties.
And let's look at the receiver in the background. He's fully engaged in a block too. Like this was a full-on team effort because they know, like you said, Mitch, they know their identity. They're staying true to their identity, and they're going to win because of their identity.
Yeah, and LJ ran over some dudes to finish runs too, especially the one touchdown where I think he ran through like 5 different Jacks players and a couple at the goal line. So, yeah, LJ did his thing as usual. Guys, how about this one? How about Lorenzo Fenner? These were back-to-back plays, by the way. Right before halftime, you had the bomb shot down the sideline, and then you had the touchdown shot down the other sideline.
They knew they had something.
How about that diving catch, Grant? You were asking for that video.
Oh, you think about times in the dome where your jaw drops. That was one that looked like a throwaway from my angle, and all of a sudden Fenner comes out of absolutely nowhere and makes that catch. Our whole group was going nuts. Although we're on the opposite side, we had the perfect angle to him catching that. And when it came out of Aiden's hand, it really did look like a throwaway. I thought it really was. And that's about as good as a catch that I've seen in the dome. I don't think we talked about it enough this week, through social media or not, but I think that's a top 3 catch that I've seen in the dome before.
That should be sports. These are like Sports Center top 10 plays right here. And I was just going to say, Grant, on that diving catch, that defender did everything right. It's just LJ. That's just Lorenzo wanting it more and being just a better athlete. Like he just out athleted him. I mean, just full extension there and just wanted the ball more.
Yeah, absolutely. I can think of just 2 other catches that go above and beyond this, but I can't think of anything else. And it's obvious. Easy one is Javion Phelps last season against NDSU, right on the sideline. He can't place the foot better. Yep. And then Will Powell, back when we were in school, one-handed over the top.
Those are literally the other 2 I was thinking about as well. Will Powell's catch, I got him on Sports Center.
The fully laid out with back and the arm all the way back. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Absolutely. Shout out.
The Fenner one, guys, was right in front of me. In that side of the end, I was all over it, man. I mean, it was plain as day. It was a touchdown. You knew it right away. I think he got both feet in. Actually, he got the 1 foot down and kind of did the toe drag as he went towards the locker room. Which, oh, by the way, should mention this: SDSU came out of the north locker room, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, that was weird. But they had to make their own entrance because, again, it jumps back to what I said. They feel like they own the place, and
you know who else did that?
No, who else does that, Grant? Because I don't really remember any teams
Northern
coming out
Colorado
of that.
did it too, and that's the first time I'd ever seen somebody do it. But if you remember, they came out at the same time we did during our intro, and
it's so weird.
They got the same results State did, so good for both of them.
There you go.
And it doesn't show very well in this picture, but which way are you actually facing, Mitch, during this play? Are you looking up into the stands?
No, this one I'm looking at the field still, but as soon as it's touchdown, I'm turning around and giving them the business.
Giving them business. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Giving Grandpa the business behind you.
Yeah.
No, he was long gone by this point, but maybe I think his wife was still there.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man, that's fantastic. But no, it was a great game. Back-to-back. Actually, I guess depends on where you look, but back-to-back wins over the number 8 team in the nation in the Dome. Dome did their job. The shots that they got in these are just insane.
Last one here, guys. This guy, I tell you what, he's turning into a turnover machine. It's see ball, get ball.
3 games in a row now.
3 games in a row. This is number 2, Dewan Seatbelt Lewis, guys. Literally became the receiver on the Jack Henry interception there as he caught it in the corner and slid out of bounds with a really sweet slide to end this, by the way.
Yeah. I've been fortunate enough to meet his parents a few times, and now, I mean, we can pick each other out of the crowd. I saw them after the game, and his mom came up and gave me a huge hug, and they were so amped up for this kid, and what he's done has been fantastic.
Yeah,
Grant, just check that out. Check that out. Look at him catch the ball. Looks like he's the receiver, and looks like the Jack's receiver is the defender, the DB trying to knock it away.
Right. Yeah. It's funny you say that. When I first took a glance at this picture, when I saw it online this week, I actually thought it was the Fenner catch for a second because of where it's at, and I had to do
almost identical.
Like for 2 seconds, I'm like, oh wait, no, that's Dewan. Like that's not Fenner, right? So yeah, he is turning into one of those guys. I don't know if you guys have ever talked about this, but there seems to be guys that are always in the right place at the right time, or always around the ball, right? Maybe you call it luck, or if you're just always swarming the ball, that happens. But over the last 3 games, he's kind of turned into that. He always seems to be in the right spot at the right time in very critical moments. And I think that's not going to stop. I think that's something that he's grown into throughout the year.
Yeah. I mean, he has blossomed this season. There were some plays early on in the season that were questionable, but adjusting new defensive strategy really can change it up. He's been a key piece in what this defense has done this season. And so, especially towards the end and finding their identity, he's really stepped up and answered the call. So shout out to Lewis.
Yeah. And with that, guys, we gave up 17 in the first half, but they did not score again. 0 points in the second half. This defense just locked in and did their thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think that's all she wrote.
Absolutely. Fantastic win. Fantastic crowd. Couldn't ask for a better results against the worst team.
Here we go. What's Matt got for us? Walk out the door. Book my flight and hotel for Thanksgiving weekend to be at the Dome. Will it into existence? We are going to be doing that on Thursday night.
Yes. Yeah, we'll be talking about that. I have some thoughts on how we can get there, but I still think we need some help.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have Thursday. 1 or 2 teams above us lose.
We'll talk about it more Thursday, but I'm with Matt on this. A win on Saturday gets us another game in the Dome. Don't let Jake tell you differently.
Perfect. Well, hey, I think it's a perfect spot to end it. Let's get these folks going. So you can stop your chuckling.
Yeah, so we'll be here for another hour talking about scenarios. All right.
That's right.
Let's get out
of here. Go Yotes.
All right. Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.